Hello, welcome. It's Rod Solar from Lipsy Solar Healthcare Marketing. I'm going to share a talk with you that I first gave at the ERLS Zeiss Symposium back a month ago. And this was a talk in front of the whole symposium full of Zeiss customers of their laser refractive units. And I'm going to try to give this talk in about 10 minutes or less, which is about the amount of time that I had at the symposium. And this is exclusive content for our blog subscribers to give you an insight into how to grow the laser eye surgery market by 4 times. So let's get started. So I think you probably know, if you're subscribers to our blog, that we're Rod and Laura. We've been helping surgeons build the practice they want and the life that they want for the last 20 years. And this is also known as practice development consulting. Now, I think, again, you know all about us, healthcare specialists, focus on increasing sales for ophthalmic businesses, results since 1997, lots and lots of experience, 3 months to see results from us. We've been marketing Zeiss installations since 2002. We have a good relationship with the company, and our website's there if you'd like to know more about us. But of course, as a blog subscriber, I'm sure you know all about us. So let's get started. So why are presbyopes the sleeping giants of refractive surgery? I've been saying this now for about a year plus. And the reason I keep saying that is because it's an absolutely massive market. We're talking about size. We're also talking about a market that is extremely motivated. And we're also talking about a market with significantly high income to be able to afford the discretionary expenses that are required to pay for laser eye surgery. Now, we've been hoping that millennials are the biggest market to actually look at increasing the laser eye surgery market with. However, laser eye surgery sales have been flat for many years now. I think it's coming up on 10 years where the market's just been flat. And now we're hoping for this new crop of folks who are already engaged in the market to help boost it like the good old days. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's not because the millennials aren't big enough. In fact, they are big. But what we're talking about is a huge market, 1.8 billion, I should say, with a B, presbyopes worldwide. That's who we're talking about. And we're expected to reach 2.2 billion in 2020. So it's an absolutely massive market. And I've mentioned this many, many times before. I really feel it's vital to look at this market as the way forward to generate a massive increase in the laser eye surgery market. So let's just take a look at some numbers here. Generations, I've spoken about this quite a bit. And if you read the blog and follow it, you know a lot about the generations that we speak of. We have millennials, Generation X, baby boomers, and traditionalists. And we also have the dates of birth here, just to make it a little bit easier to understand who these people are. Millennials born between 1980 and 2000. Generation X born between 1965 and 1979. Baby boomers 1946 and 64. And traditionalists we're not too concerned about when it comes to Presbyopic LASIK, because by then they're usually in the business of actually getting rid of their cataracts, as you know. So their age in 2018 is 18 to 38, 39, 53, 54, 72. So we've got a lot of people here. What are their sizes relative to each other in Europe? Well, let's get into the size of the European population. And these figures are from Eurostat. So millennials, yeah, massive market, 132 million. That's a huge number of people. And absolutely those of you, the pundits who say that this is the area on which we need to focus, they're absolutely right. We do need to focus laser eye surgery on millennials. However, that is not the only focus we can have. We can have additional segments that we open up the market to. We have Generation X, people who are between 39 and 53. Of course, they're entering the days of presbyopia, and we need to be able to address those needs specifically. So that gap of the marketplace is 110 million people. Okay, so that's a significant additional population that we can start looking at in addition to millennials. And then we have baby boomers. Baby boomers are 122 million on their own. When we add those together, that's 232 million, which is already 100 million more than the millennials. So we're talking about a massive market. The Generation X alone are enough to double the market. And when you top in the baby boomers, then we're actually looking at tripling the market. But actually, there's even more to look at. Myopic patients, 32.6% of millennials are myopic. In terms of Generation X, we're talking about 38.2%, and baby boomers are about the same. However, hyperopic, we're looking at 22%, for millennials and Generation X, and 67% for baby boomers. So there's a good hyperopic population. Now, hyperopic populations are, for the moment, untreatable with SMILE. That's going to change. But what we're also looking at now is what's the market for Presbyond. Presbyond, what we're looking at, or other laser refractive solutions for presbyopes, what we're looking at here is obviously 0% of millennials are presbyopic. In Generation X is when they start to get it, between 0 and 100%. And by 50 years of age, baby boomers are 100% presbyopic. So it's a massive, massive market. So we're talking about 1/3 of the millennials being eligible for SMILE, for example, roughly 4/10 of the Generation X's being eligible for SMILE. And then we're talking about 100% of baby boomers being eligible for Presbyond. So we're talking about an enormous market in size, but also in eligibility. Now, let's go further. Let's talk about motivation. Now, when we're young, and those people who needed glasses when they were young, they basically adopted them as a matter of course. They needed to do them, and they had their entire lifetimes to get adjusted to those glasses. And they don't need to do much in order to adjust. And that's why so many people out there are comfortable wearing glasses today, or contact lenses. They don't know any other way. And that's why laser eye surgeons who come to me and say, how is it that we're offering this amazing procedure that can eliminate somebody's need for glasses and contact lenses? How is it that not everybody is knocking down my door and asking for this procedure yesterday? Well, the reason is because they don't care. They don't worry about their glasses. It's a part of them. They've had 20, 30, 40 years to get used to them, and it's part of their identity. So yes, are there many people out there in the world who don't know that laser eye surgery exists? Probably not. These days, it's pretty ubiquitous in terms of awareness. However, worldwide, we're talking about a penetration of less than 1%. So it's a minuscule penetration. And a big part of that is just simply because while that need is incredibly great for some, those people that do knock on your door and say, get rid of my glasses, for many, it doesn't matter. They can live with their glasses, they're happy to live with their glasses, and it's not a concern for them. Now, let's look at the flip side. Let's look at people my age who are 40 plus. Now we're starting to deal with a population who has to wear some of these and has the on and off syndrome, is looking at screens, is dealing with their mobile phones, trying to look at that and then look above and look and interact with people. Often you forget these things. Now I can almost see nothing. I have to increase the type size on my mobile phone to make it readable. It's a mess. It's a disaster. And it's one of these things where those of us who are plus 40 years of age have much less tolerance for, simply because if you're above 40, you're less adaptable than you were when you were 4. And that's a fact. You're much less open to dealing with problems that you can fix. You're much less open to having your lifestyle changed because you've used up to 40 years in establishing that lifestyle, generating those likes and those interests. And you don't want stuff to get in the way. So my contention is that presbyopes are massively motivated. I was speaking to somebody a few days ago who was saying, well, you wear glasses, wear reading glasses, it's no big deal. You just get on with life. I'm sorry, but the facts would state otherwise. Those people who are offering Presbyond have in fact built their practices on it. And today, one of the most successful clinics in Europe, independent clinics in Europe, has entirely based their practice on the offer of SMILE and Presbyond, and Presbyond makes up over 54 to 55% of their practice. That's an enormous amount of blended vision treatments. Alternatively, we have this whole companies, Optegra, for example, trading on the fact that they're able to remove reading glasses through a lens procedure. Now, there's a considerable risk differential with a lens procedure versus a Presbyond procedure. We're talking about a factor of 10 in terms of risk. Would I want to expose myself to 10% of the risk for effectively a result that will last me, albeit 10 years instead of the rest of my life? Yeah, I think so. Personally, that's the option that I will go for. There's absolutely no way that I would allow a surgeon at my age to put a lens in me when my lens is perfectly fine. It just happens to be getting a bit stiffer and impeding my reading. Why wouldn't I go and accept 1/10 the risk and have Presbyond treatment? It makes way more sense. And I'm not alone. Surgeons who actually put in lenses into people routinely themselves have opted for Presbyond as a solution for their presbyopia. So until I get early signs of cataracts, and many people are with me, I'm not letting a surgeon anywhere near my lens. And that's not because I don't trust them. It's just because I don't want to accept the risk. It's needless. So anyway, we're talking about highly motivated. Income. So let's look at that aspect. Now, in terms of baby boomers, Generation X, and millennials, who's got the most discretionary income? And where does discretionary income come from? Well, it comes from having more income. The more income you have and the fewer expenses you have, the more discretionary income you have. Discretionary income is, in fact, where procedures, elective procedures like laser eye surgery come from. Now, let's look at the facts. We have baby boomers with the most discretionary income, Generation X's in the yellow with about the same, and millennials with the least. And this is a fact. In terms of discretionary income, we're talking about millennials having to pay a lot for real estate that they never paid for before. Everything's going up in price. They are often working part-time jobs or less employed and sometimes massively unemployed. And they often had debt. So we have to look at where the income is going to come from to fuel the growth of laser eye surgery. And I strongly believe that it's going to come from baby boomers and Generation X's if we offer them something that they want. And what they want, I believe, is laser blended vision to correct their need for reading glasses and to also be able to see at distance. When we look at Denmark, one of the most socially egalitarian countries on earth, we see that baby boomers and Generation X's are leading the edge in terms of income. Millennials are being left behind. The same thing's going on in France. The same thing's going on in Germany. The same thing's going on in the UK, Italy as well, and Spain too. All the major markets for laser refractive surgery are experiencing the same issue. Who do you want to base your future on in terms of the growth of your practice? Do you want to base it entirely on this orange group who have almost no money to put together for these kinds of things? They're putting off everything. They're putting off home buying. They're putting off car buying. They're putting off going abroad. They're putting off getting married. They're putting off laser refractive surgery. And that's the reason why the market's been so flat. That's my theory. That's my contention. Let's look at in terms of population. We've seen this before. We have, yes, more millennials, but when you take baby boomers in the green and Generation X together, we have easily double the size. So let's move on. We have higher income with baby boomers and Generation X, lesser income with millennials. So let's look at the opportunity summary here. We got baby boomers, Generation X, millennials. The size is significantly larger. Generation and baby boomers are a huge part of the population. Presbyopes are a growing market. Every single day, we get more presbyopes on board. Motivation, baby boomers and Generation Xers are highly motivated when they notice anything wrong. This is the generation, after all, that invented plastic surgery. And when we look at the elimination of reading glasses as an anti-aging effect, in the sense that if I remove my reading glasses, all of a sudden I look a lot younger than I do now, and that's a fact, then we're talking about high motivation as well, because baby boomers are among those who want to look younger. They don't feel their age. They don't feel 70. They feel 50 when they're 70. They don't feel 60. They feel 40 when they're 60. So that's who we're talking about here. Income, baby boomers and Generation Xers have more spending power than millennials. So this is the best market to go to. This is the best market to look towards expanding laser eye surgery. Am I saying ignore SMILE? Am I saying ignore LASIK? Absolutely not. Make that your bread and butter business. However, if you want to quadruple your market, you have an opportunity with Generation Xers and baby boomers if you offer presbyopic LASIK. Now, what does adding presbyopic LASIK do? It more than doubles the market. For LASIK, we're looking at a market size about this big, and these circles are about the same size representative to the actual population in Europe. We have millennials in the red, Generation Xers in the orange. And when we look at the market for presbyopic LASIK, we can now add baby boomers. And yes, you can see we have Generation Xers and baby boomers that are twice the size of millennials for conventional LASIK. Of course, we also have traditionalists, but we're not going to worry about them too much because they're probably not many of them going to have LASIK, presbyopic or otherwise. Now let's look at SMILE. The market for Presbyon is 5 times the markets for SMILE. So what we're looking at here is millennials being 33% of the market, because there's only 33% of millennials who are myopic, and you have Generation Xers, of which are entirely suitable for Presbyond, and baby boomers who are entirely suitable for Presbyond. So what we're looking at here is a difference between 44 million and 222 million. That's 5 times. So we have the opportunity here to increase the market dramatically if only we take advantage of the new technology that's on offer and start offering what people out there desperately want, which is presbyopic LASIK or Presbyond blended vision. So how do you do it? Well, we've written a book, and if you're a Zeiss customer, in other words, you have the capability of offering Presbyond, you can download this book, How to Grow Your Practice. If you are a Zeiss customer at all, or if you're looking to be a Zeiss customer, then you're in contact with a Zeiss sales rep, and you can speak to that sales rep, and you can get a link to download this free and exclusive ebook for Zeiss customers. It's roughly 140 pages long. We could have made it a lot longer, but we cut out all the fluff and just kept the absolute important, vital, essential stuff. Laura Livesey and myself wrote this book. Zeiss helped us edit it, and we produced it together to make it on offer for Zeiss customers who offer Presbyond, so that they could take this recipe book and learn how to get the return on their investment of Presbyond and offer it to the laser refractive market, so they could double, triple, quadruple, and potentially quintuple their business. So I hope that if you're in that group, if you are a Zeiss user, you can take advantage of this book. You can talk to your sales rep, ask where to get it from. They will be able to help you find the link to download it, read it, learn all the secrets that we've been using to grow laser refractive businesses for the last 20 years that we have applied specifically to growing your practice with presbyopic patients. I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you can use it, and I hope that you grow from it. Thank you very much. In the book, you'll see how to get more leads, how to convert more leads into first appointments, how to convert more first appointments into treatments, how to set, defend, and raise prices, and how to get more referrals from patients. All the 5 steps that we introduce all of our clients to on a regular basis, and that make up the tactics that help them grow their businesses reliably, predictably, and over and over and over again. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you again for being a subscriber of our blog. If you want to receive more exclusive content from our blog into your inbox, remain a subscriber. And also, if you would, please don't forget to comment on some of our blog posts from time to time and share them with your friends. Thank you.